And I'm very concerned right now because, anybody who's watched Kitco knows that America became the power in 1944 with the Bretton Woods Agreement. And then this dollar became the reserve currency of the world. In other words, the dollar was as good as gold. That's all changed. And today we're in serious trouble globally. And I'm very concerned. The end of the American empire is here.
This idea of de-dollarization after the dollar has been weaponized against other countries. As we've seen in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, we're seeing a number of developing world countries like the BRICS coming up with their own currency, potentially looking at taking the oil off the petrodollar. Saudi Arabia reportedly in conversations with China about changing that standard. Do you feel that beyond this conference, people are starting to understand that the dollar, in terms of their purchasing power beyond inflation, is on the decline?
Yes, it's spreading. People know that something's wrong with this here. I became known as the precious metals guru. So this is just 2 weeks ago. I'm standing at Safeway getting some coleslaw from the women, and they come running up and they said, "What should we invest in? What should we invest in?" So I just happened to get this thing here from, it's a pre-64 quarter. This is real. This is real silver. I got this from American Gold Exchange and Dana Samuelson. I'm giving it a plug. So I showed the little women this coin here. I just happened to have it because Dana sent it to me from Austin, Texas. And there were women were asking me, said, "What's the best investment?" Because real estate's coming down, stocks are coming down. And I held this, I held it up. "I should invest in that?" I said, "Yes." "Give me this." So they looked at me and said, "Give you $3 for that?" I said, "Yes." And their brains went, "Why would I give you $3 for that?" I said, "Okay, give me 2. And their brains are going, "Why would we give you $2 for that?" This is pre-64 silver. Lynette Zhang, she's also from Arizona, she's numismatic. So I was holding this up here like this. And they went, they're all intimidating. They forgot to serve my coleslaw. And they said, "Why should we give you $2 for this?" I said, "Because it's worth this." And this is the problem. The average person, American or whatever, they think this is money. This is fake. This is real.
Robert, do you think that the notion that fiat currency, which is what we've accepted as a society to use ever since Nixon 1971 took us off the gold standard?
Yeah, this is real gold.
But we have as a world, as a society, been using fiat currency. Fiat, which literally means by decree, because I said
Correct.
so, because governments have told us that this is what we must use.
Wait, they just misspelled it. Fiat should be spelled F-A-K.
But in this environment where you're saying we're going to get a global recession, everything is collapsing, there's also a lot of concern about the housing market, of course. So you second that concern.
Because the boomers have to sell. This here is global money. It's silver. Like Bernanke, he gets the Nobel Prize for destroying the U.S. economy by dropping interest rates to 0 like this. And then now you have this guy, Jay Powell, who's raising interest rates. They're killing us. And what's wiping people out today is they think this is real and this is fake. So the baby boom caused a boom. So my generation, the boomers, is at 46 to 64. We had the easiest of any generation in history. So I graduated from the academy in 1969. You buy a house, it goes up. You put your money in the stock market, it goes up. So the boomers have only known boom. They caused it. Do you know what I mean? But now as the boomers retire, the baby bust sets in. And my mom and dad didn't trust the stock market because the market crashed in 29.
Right.
So they had to find a way, Wall Street did, to get my generation, the boomers, into the stock market. So they created, voila.
They stopped the traditional pension from most companies.
Correct.
And created 401ks.
Correct.
Where companies
You got it.
contribute,
And the stock
match
market went up,
contribution.
real estate went up, and now the bust has started. You know, I used to be invited on to CNBC, but when I went on last time, I said, I don't invest in anything you can print. That includes this. I don't trust stocks, and I don't trust bonds. The price of oil went from $30 a barrel when Biden came in, to $130 a barrel. Inflation went through the roof. They say, well, the oil companies are greedy. Well, he cut off our oil. Civilization runs on oil. So when he took out the Keystone XL pipeline, inflation went through the roof, and this is the real problem. And as we're talking, the debt ceiling has to be raised again. So now our debt has gone from 30 trillion to 31.4 trillion. It means they have to print more of this. Think about this.
But then why do you think oil is the cause of inflation?
Because energy drives civilization. So when you're standing there pumping oil, gas into your car, it affects food, it affects everything. But I say I don't invest in anything they can print. I don't invest in this, stocks, bonds, ETFs. I'm an entrepreneur. I start gold mines, I start oil wells. I invest in cattle, you know, Wagyu cattle.
Yeah.
You know why? Because every time the that the Wagyu bull breeds, I get cash flow. I trust the Wagyu cattle more than Joe Biden. And that's the problem. They think this is real. This is fake.
Because nuclear war is looking more and more like a possibility. The doomsday clock, which measures the likelihood of nuclear war, that is forecasting that the world is just 90 seconds away from total annihilation. That is the highest risk of nuclear war ever. What do you think?
Well, as a Marine Corps pilot, I've killed a lot of people. And so what I see going on in Ukraine, my heart bleeds. I feel for the women and children more than the soldiers. But I'm so old, like I started buying this, 60 years ago. But even before that, in 1962, I believe, I grew up on the island of Hawaii, the big island. And I saw an atomic bomb go off. So there was Christmas Island south of us. And my family are watching television. I'm probably 14 or 15 years old. And I see this flash go through the house. I went, what's that? What was that? What it was Christmas Island detonating a small bomb.
As a test?
Yeah, that's how they tested the weapons. And so my family, we turn off Johnny Carson or whatever it was, we go to the window, and the paper described it exactly. It said it looked like somebody poured blood in the sky. So when Rickards is talking about possibility of nuclear war and all that, I think the reason it's easy to talk about it is you haven't seen it. Like most people haven't killed anybody. When you see that, I'm anti-war now. It's horrible. It was horrible what we had to do. So when people just casually toss around what's the possibility of nuclear war, they don't know what they're talking about. I am a U.S. Marine. I'm a ring knocker. It means I went to the academy. Yeah, I'm as hardcore military as it become. I do not like where we're going. We're cruising for war to end the problem of this here, just because of fake money. There's one more thing, is today they talk about homelessness. It's exploding. And people say it's because they're on drugs or they're mentally deranged. But there's a whole classification of homeless who are working homeless. Because this is so abundant, they can't afford a house. So they're working, they live in their cars with their kids and all this. They're not drug dealers, they're honest, hardworking people. But the more they pervert this, which started in 1971, when Nixon took this, which is gold, off the gold standard, this became fake money. And fake money, like the Weimar Republic in Germany and all this, has always led to war and depression.
Yeah.
I'm concerned. Why don't they teach us in 71, Nixon took this off the gold standard? That's more important than sexual bending or critical race theory.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's garbage what they're teaching kids. So when I saw Bitcoin go to 20,000, I don't know what it was. Then it dropped down to $1, so it's toast. But then it came roaring back. So and when it hit 6,000, I bought 60 Bitcoin at 6,000. I think today it's at 20,000. So the more I'm in it, the more I realize that that's sustainability. So the reason people buy Bitcoin is the same reason I buy this and I buy this, is I don't trust this. It's the same reason. I want to say one last thing. I mean, these academic geniuses like Bernanke, the PhDs from academia, he destroyed our economy. Bernanke destroyed our economy by dropping interest rates so low and printing money. Now we're the biggest debtor nation in world history, and they give him the Nobel Prize. What is wrong with our country? What is wrong with us?